Well, if I want to change it, here's one method. Right-click on here once more and choose Quick Tag Editor. As we'd expect, in our CSS Styles panel, it's been added here, ready for us to style its contents when we add some, i.e. when we add some contents. So let's do that. I'll add some junk text and I'll resize the container. Then down in the CSSP element field here, I'll change this to test and I'll add a heading 1 style to it by clicking inside the junk text and changing it to heading 1 with the drop reveal here. So far so good. The text is now styled. I'll just expand the AP div container around it better. Now I'll change this div tag like before because I want to show you how it will instantly lose this styling initially. I'll right click here once more and choose Quick Tag Editor. Now I need to remove all of this div ID name by deleting it, and I'll change it to take on the tag of footer. As I type in footer, the code hints help me out, and there it is. So I'll accept that. But now, where has our AP div positioning and text gone? Well, this is what I'm saying. It's been moved up top, but we can quickly fix this by coming back to our CSS Styles panel. The CSS Styles name is still referring to something that now doesn't exist. We need to change this test ID to the correct newly changed tag of footer. So I'll double click on it to remove this and change to footer. And like magic, the styled header 1 text is moved back into position. Now, I realise whilst I'm doing this, it seems a little bit obscure why I would have a footer text tag using an H1 tag, but this style is just for an example. So, that's what I've done with all the AP divs here, so that I can add various HTML5 styles to them. Let's also address their relative positioning within changing browser dimensions. If we look at the elements on the page, you'll see I've converted them to percentage widths rather than pixels. For example, if I select the header text here, you'll see down in its dimensions it's set to always display at 80% of the browser width, and it's positioned to be 10% away from the left-hand edge, resulting in the final 10% being at the right. 10 plus 80 plus 10 equals our 100%, i.e. it's always going to be in the center of the browser, no matter what size the browser width, at 80%. In fact, if I collapse this panel, you'll see even here it expands to fill up the new width display at those 10% plus 80% plus 10% coordinates. And if we look at the navigation strip, I've set this to display in exactly the same way, 10, 80 and 10%. The content box, though it's at a different screen position, is set up using a percentage value as well. You'll see here its width is set to always fill 40% of the browser. I'll click on Live View and flick through the different viewports. Here's the monitor view, and here's the tablet view, and finally the mobile view. Right, I'll just expand back to our full screen. So, that's the AP divs. How do we fix the background so that it's not fixed, but to expand and resize appropriately? I'll quickly go through what I did then to make the background scalable. So, to be able to scale the background, we need to select it in the CSS Styles panel. Making sure I'm on All, I'll select the body tag, because the background image is embedded in the body element. Then, in the Properties panel, for body, just below, I can see the background image is listed, and I need to right-click so that I can edit the body tag to open the CSS Rule Definition dialog for the body. Now, by selecting the second category down, the background section, I'll go to Background Attachment and make sure it's set to Fixed. And then I'll click on the cross to close this dialog. Now at this stage, you would need to add another property to the body because there isn't one available that we need. So back over in the CSS Styles panel, ensure you're looking at the body tag and then run below and click on Add Property. Now of course I don't need to do this because I've already done it. And then, with the resulting new property option open, click on the drop reveal and search out background size to apply it. Now they're in alphabetical order, so it's not too hard. And then once you find background size, then click on the resulting drop reveal to choose the option cover. Okay, and then that makes the background push and pull in its display so that it always displays at the full resolution size within the browser size, as we saw at the beginning of the previous tutorial. Okay, so that's how we set up a site, as simple as it is at the moment. to be responsive without using any further extensions. OK, right, we'll finish up here then, and I'll see you in a moment.